Hey, folks, welcome back to Soaring Profits. This evening, you only have myself. We have a bit of an issue with some tech issues with our the other part of the dynamic duo. James is having some internet problems at his place. So, long time requested. Now, for the first time, we're actually going to break into it and kind of go through some of it. So, what we want to do is we want to trade. Let's do this. Let's learn how to make some money. Okay. So the first thing that we want to look into here is obviously the TradingView platform that we've talked about a lot on here. Okay, so this is TradingView. Dun, dun, dun. So this company here, those of you that have been following the media, our boy Elon, he's buying Twitter, right? That's what everyone's talking about. Maybe, maybe not. One of the things that's come up today, he had a bit of a problem with a judge down in Delaware. Basically, what he was told today is that Delaware is going to hold him accountable for the contract that he has put forth to buy Twitter. Okay, so Delaware, why? What's Delaware have to do with all of this? Well, Delaware is a state in the United States where a lot of corporations register their businesses because it's a very pro-business state. The tax incentives, the corporate structure, the legalities that have already been fought through the courts in Delaware are a very pro-corporate legal system. Okay. So again, low taxes, excellent court system that has proven contracts. That's where Elon kind of falls into this one here. So we've got a couple things we want to look at. People have asked me about Twitter over the last little while, comments and concerns about, is it worth buying into? Is it something that we should look at even? Is it going to be problematic if Elon backs out? Where do we go from here, right? So let's take a closer look at Twitter. What we have here right now is Twitter over the last, what's the word going to be in? Just over a year, right? Yeah, that was about, that's the 5-year price, okay? So we've seen obviously a huge run up from the lows from 5 years ago at about $20, highs of about $80, and pulling back into where it is now at, with this logo here. This is the current price line at 38.73. So Elon's got a deal pegged at 54.20. Okay. Elon's a funny guy. The 420 facet is why he put that at the $50 range, right? So he thinks he's funny. He's talking about 420 marijuana type stuff. He thinks that's humorous, right? So around that 54.20 range is where Elon has decided that he's going to take over this company and take it private. Okay. So from these levels down here, let's move this over. From these levels down here, if you're to buy Twitter at the price of 38.73, if you got $40 in your pocket right now, you can go buy an ownership of Twitter. It's pretty neat, right? But at 38.73 all the way up to 54.20, that's a pretty decent margin. Like if I was to just chart that out and go, hey, yeah, I can see myself making that trade. That's going to be a situation in which you're going to have an upside of, let's call it 40%. If you could make 40% on your money in a month, in 2 months, in, call it 3 months, maybe by the time this all gets sorted out, you'd probably do that, right? Half your money up. But what we want to start doing is we want to look at what this trade would look like. So here we are on TradingView. Those of you that have seen this before, that have been following this, TradingView is a private software, but it's a charting software, okay? So TradingView is free, first and foremost. You can go in and you can have all the exact same tools that I have here. Or there are monthly or yearly annual subscriptions that you can buy into as well. And they get a little bit more technical. Some of the stuff that is way even beyond myself that they throw in with the extra, the pay for service type stuff, right? So where we are right now is we're going to take a look at this charting. We're going to go over some macro stuff, and then we're going to set up a trade. So you guys are going to learn and see how a trade actually comes together. For those of you who've maybe never done it before, what does a trade look like? Okay. So we're going to go back to the 1 year. This has been the movement of Twitter. Nothing super exciting, but we're starting to see some of the things that we're talking to you guys about, teaching about, is that we've got resistances, the roof resistance. We've got the floor, right? That's support. So that's not going to let you fall through even farther. It's not allowing you to fall through. And then until it does, and it breaks down. Then you get a new support, a new resistance, a new support, new resistance, breaks through. Why did it break through? Well, everything in the economy's broken through. The markets went to hell in the last year, right? So all of these things, Twitter was kind of the canary in the coal mine, if you will, right? So all of this stuff that's coming down the pipe, it's happened to everyone, all of these big tech companies. So we're going to draw out some supports and resistances. So here we go. We're going to use our little tools, and we're going to draw out supports, right? There's one level. Let's use this level here because it seems to be touching and it's pretty pertinent to what we're looking at right now. Okay, that's a support. But let's do this one. This is going to be another big support. And then we're going to do one up here. This is just kind of a macro view of where we are. This is a year, right? So this is where we are, okay? These now become sections, areas, okay? Let's take a look at 3 months. We're going to zoom in and we're going to get a little bit tighter. See how these areas become more and more important? Okay. So what we're going to look at here is these movements, these charts, these lines, sorry, on the charts. The blue is what's called a 50-day moving average, and the blue is called your 200-day moving average. So 50 days of stock market trading, the average price of that is this line. It's been massively under it, right? Especially at the beginning of the year, massively under it. Broke through it, used it as support a couple times, then broke through it. Bounced off it, used it as support, broke through it, right? Like every other stock that's going into there. There's nothing unique about Twitter right now that all these other stocks haven't had, okay? But what we're going to see here is that we've had this breakthrough, this breakout at this point here. Let's make this really big so we can see this. Okay, so we've had this breakout, firstly, over the 50 moving average, which it collected steam, bounced its head off the 200, consolidated, checked itself, and ran through the 200. As you can see, we're pulling back a bit, right? Now let's look at the 1 month. Okay. So I'm going to do these on the daily. These are all just different ways of monitoring and checking these time intervals, right? So we see that it's been pretty range bound in this time. So where do we think is going to come next? Okay. So over this last little while, it's gotten to this point here where it sees this resistance level, starts pulling itself back, consolidating. Where I think we're going to do is I think we're going to continue up into this range here. I don't think we're going to get quite to hit our head on this 42. And then I think we're going to start to fall back. Why? Okay. First and foremost, we have a big macroeconomic issue with whether Elon's going to buy this thing or not. If Elon Musk is forced to buy this at 54.20, you've got big upside. The problem is the more and more that looks in doubt, the stock could fall. So this becomes risky, right? But we're not avoiding risk. We're just risk averse. We don't like risk. So we've got to take it into account. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right in here. Let's get a really good look at this guy. And let's see what we can do. We're going to go to the 1 day candles. Again, each one is 1 day worth of movement. Okay. So I want this. Okay, so now we're going to apply a trade. So what I'm looking to do is I want to purchase this share. So first of all, this brings up my paper trading account, okay? So again, all of you folks can set this up. This is a paper trading account. It's basically like Monopoly money. It's not your money. It's fake. It's bullshit. It's fugazi, right? It's not real. But what you're able to do here is you're able to practice. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this as it is right now, and it's going to give me a buy limit. So now I can set it to where I want this price to be. Well, where do I think it's going to be? Well, I want to buy the stock, so I've got to buy it at the price that it's at, right? These things are called take profit. Okay. Modify order. I'm going to show you what they are, and then I'll explain what they are. So this is what's called a take profit. So right now, if the stock gets up to this 42-ish, 40, 41.25, it'll automatically sell it. There's nothing I have to do. I can be sitting on a beach drinking Mai Tais, little flowery drink, and it'll do it automatically for me. Okay. So if I think that the stock is going to be purchased at this price, I think that it's going to run up a little bit farther. Okay. Then I'll set my take profit to where I think it's going to go up. Okay. Do I think we're going to hit the high again? It's hard to say, right? Probably in and around there seems like a reasonable profit margin. Okay. So if I bought one share at $39.55 and it went up to that, I'd made 50 cents. I'm risking $40 to make 50 cents. That doesn't make sense, right? So this chart is actually shoring up to be a bit of a short situation. Okay. So what you can actually do is you can change this and you can go to a shorting order. But what we'll do that in a second, and I'll show you how to short stuff. This here is called your stop loss. So what if something happens and the stock just crumbles down? Well, instead of risking all my money, like Twitter could literally go to zero tomorrow and I'd lose my investment, my $39.50, right? So what you do is you put a stop loss. Okay. So you find a support area and you go just a little below it. Well, why would you go just below it? Well, it's because these areas down here and over here and over here and over here have been support and resistance. So in the past, buyers have come in and said, okay, I'm in, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to buy again, right? Whereas you want to do the same thing with your take profit. You want to find areas where people might come in and buy this product, buy the stock again. So this chart here is a little tricky because I would argue that you're probably into a situation where you're a little bit overbought at this point and you're waiting on a judge to make a decision. But we're going to throw something on here that's called an RSI. So our RSI, I usually do this on my computer. Let's do this. I usually do this on my laptop, which I have everything very easily accessible. And it's just different. Let's see what we got here. There's our RSI. So we put it on top here today. So our RSI right now is in that overbought territory. So again, this is kind of confirming my issue around that I do think that we're going to see pullback on this stock. So first and foremost, this would not be a trade that I would be willing to take at this point. I would have taken this trade down here at the crossing of the 200-day average. And the reason I do that is that once you've passed that 200-day moving average, you have some momentum behind you, right? This would have been a smart trade. Who can call the bottom though, right? That's the issue. So you're looking for indicators. 50-day, would you have bought it? Maybe. Lots of news coming out with Elon, right? But here you go, okay? So right now, the way that this is right now, we've got a buy order at 39. I think you're going to pull back. So I think you're going to be able to buy this probably in and around here. Okay. So I'm actually going to put my buy in for 38.60 because I think we're going to pull back over the next couple of days. Okay. 38.60. I will take that and I will actually bring my stop loss back down to around that 200-day moving average. Now I've got to understand that this 200-day moving average is going to continue to rise as time moves on, as the stock is above it. Like anything, if the average price is above it, the line will move up. If the average price is below it, the line will move down. Okay. So as we as we see how this is going to play out, I think that this will be probably a safe position over the next, let's say, by the end of the month. I think you'll probably have an order here, okay? So what we're doing is we're buying at 38.60. We have a $2.10 take profit. So if we do get that where it looks like Elon's going to have to buy, you're going to see some money run back into this. Or if this ends up going sideways on us for a 239 stop loss. So we will only lose $2.39 on this potential trade versus if it runs all the way back down to here where you would lose, what's that look like? $6.24. Okay. So again, what we're doing is we're mitigating risk. I'm going to show you another one that is one of my favorites that I've got a trade on right now. Why is this not going the way that I want to go? Again, I use this on my iPad more than I do on the computer, and I'm not super great with it yet. So if I want to do this, how do I pull up a new one? The processes of live, eh? Okay. But what we'll do is we'll leave this for tonight. Let's watch this over the next couple of days, see where we are. Again, this earnings here scares me a little bit for July 22nd. Earnings for me usually means get out because you don't know what's going to come down when people start talking about earnings. Twitter could come out and say that they've solved cancer and they're going to skyrocket. Or they could say that, hey, we're going to sell to Elon Musk for $27. Right? We've went through the court process. We realize this is going to take 5 years of fighting him. He's the world's richest man. We're willing to take a deal at $25. Well, it tanks, right? So earnings is usually a situation where I like to be out of a trade just because you don't know. The volatility increases and it's really problematic. But that kind of gives us a rough idea. I've got to figure out, and this is a process that I'm going to work on because I'm not used to trading to showing you guys. I talk a lot about the macro stuff. I talk about where the market's going and that, but I'd really like to be able to show you guys how I trade, why I trade, and the things, what my logic is behind a lot of it, okay? So as we get a little bit more in line with the Mac here and how it all works on TradingView versus my iPad and phone, because that's where I do 90% of this stuff, I want to bring it to you. I want to show you folks how to do this stuff because it's not rocket science. It's just, oh, hey, who's this guy? Is that look at he showed up. Look at this guy. We figured out the tech stuff. Hey, buddy.
Better late than never.
Hey.
I didn't figure out this tech stuff. What happened was Kojiko was out.
Little technical difficulties.
So I got the tail end of your.
Well, I would like to continue going. I'd like to show them some other stuff, but I'm having a real problem using TradingView on my laptop, whereas so I'm having technical difficulties as well. So like I've talked to you before about this, is I use my iPad for the majority of my trading, where I get at my little pen and scrabble around and all that sort of thing. And I don't know, for those of you, the tan line is slowly.
So what I would say to that is you probably could enter, not that anyone needs to hear this but us, but you could probably open your iPad and go onto StreamYard and enter using your iPad and then just share the screen of the iPad.
Do I have to leave?
No, you just have to open up your iPad.
Okay.
And go to StreamYard.
For a minute. You're on blast.
I'm on blast. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'd like to remind you that Thursday night, because today is Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. It's been a long night. Been a long day. Thursday night at 9 p.m. we're gonna have a live. It's gonna be with Shannon.
So it's not gonna work because it runs off an app on my phone, and I can't bring the app into this because it's web based. So.
And Shannon's lovely. So I'm told. I've never met her. So I'm looking forward to meeting her. Nurse, I think.
Drug dealer.
But currently an entrepreneur, doing quite well.
Woman of mystery.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. Much like us being entrepreneurs.
That's right.
And our many, many profiteers.
The many.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And anytime now, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk will return our calls and come on and be one of our guests.
Well, when he's not having babies,
He's not.
he is. He keeps having babies.
That's true. Yeah, not with us.
Speak for yourself. I'm pretty sure last week you're like, I would definitely have a baby.
Oh, are you kidding? It's worth it.
Sure, I think you signed up.
Wouldn't you sign up?
What was it? 2LQ? I don't know.
Oh, I'm not getting into that. I don't know it. The first part is Two Spirited, though, is what you're looking at. It's 2S.
All those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's about it for what I had for this little piece tonight. So.
Yeah, I'm really sorry the tech didn't work out because I was excited when you told me what you were going to do tonight.
Well, yeah. So I got it's probably a 2-minute fix, but it's hard to do when you're live, and especially when I was, flipping all the plates and holding them all up.
Yeah, you were doing everything. You had it all, the whole show. Yeah, but I appreciate you taking it on for me while it's gone, and you Propheteers out there. I hope you enjoyed what he had, and join us again 9 p.m. Thursday. Like, you're gonna love it.
Like I said,
we'll likely do another live here soon that'll come out tomorrow, and of course, the keto 7-day journey is finished. Today was day 7. Hop on there if you're interested in weight loss, or you just kind of want to know what keto is about, because I do go through what keto is at little pieces on each videos.
Yeah.
And then I still have that 7-day domino journey as well. That is pretty motivational.
Well, your keto stuff was fantastic. I've been watching a bit of it, and
nice.
Your keto stuff's been good for someone who's done keto and all that.
Yeah.
You really lay it out very easily, very fundamental for people to follow, and it works. Like, it really is a wonderful thing. So
100%. I'm living proof that it worked.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's make some money together.
Let's see their minds, bodies, and